Tonight on Space Cadets, there's an intruder on board the shuttle. Yes, gang, I'm going in. Hello and welcome to Space Cadets. There are the Space Cadets just sitting there. There's been our Russian, actually, pilot Ivanovich has taken to wearing eyeliner now. I don't know if you remember yesterday I told you he started putting nail varnish on. Well, his dress has got increasingly bizarre. He actually had teaspoons dangling down for his cap earlier with thick eyeliner on. Anyway, they've been up there for 48 hours now, which means that if they're in a genuine shuttle travelling at 28,000 kilometres an hour, they would have travelled 1,344,000 miles and orbited Earth 33 times. But of course, we know they're not in a genuine shuttle hurtling its way through space. They're actually in an MDF simulator wobbling away merrily in Suffolk. Now, the cadets have gone nowhere. Nonetheless, they seem to be a very happy crew and they're settling into the life of a cosmonaut with effortless ease. Watch out here for Charlie's crumpled face. The cadets have been in space for 15 hours. Everyone's asleep, bar actor pilot Drew, who's keeping the shuttle on track.
Capcom Krimsk to Earth Orbiter 1, Dobraye Utra, and good morning. Welcome to your first morning aboard Earth Orbiter 1. There's no sign of life, voices, another sound. Can you hear me now? This is planet Earth. You're looking at planet Earth. This is planet Earth. Get up, Tom.
The morning wake up, we had a song played to us this morning, which was brilliant. It really livens the spirits. It makes you aware again of where you are and how lucky we are, and it was just brilliant.
Voices, another sound.
You know, it's a good way to get it.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
This is planet Earth.
Oh, you want to do that too.
This is planet Earth.
Ah, the great sounds there of Duran Duran. I think the producers actually missed a trick there. It would have been great if the cadets had been looking out the cockpit window and seen Simon Le Bon and the boys sailing past in a space yacht, surrounded by bikini-clad space lovelies singing about a gal named Rio. Or maybe flaps had opened up and guys with Mohicans and bum flaps just came and go, "Oh, boys!" Just no ambition, is there? OK, back to the cadets, where the shuttle gets a visit from an extraterrestrial, a weird-looking creature in a stripy jumper and headphones called Sarah. Just after breakfast, disaster strikes. Flight Commander Ivanovich's earpiece, the only way we can communicate with him in the shuttle, has failed. Drew is able to relay a message from us to tell Ivanovich to make his way to the lab and await further instruction.
Very good. Well, why do I not do it for you? Because I will go through there.
All right, you can. All right, sure thing.
Drew is left behind in the middeck to cover. Only inches away, Drew must keep the cadets distracted whilst the problem is rectified.
Every time you have a wee, maybe take a look back and check the color, and if it's dark or very yellow, then you probably need to take on more liquid.
Ivanovich, an actor called Alex from South London, has no idea how we're going to resolve the situation until our production manager appears through a secret door we've installed for emergencies. Forever the method actor, Ivanovich remains in character as attempts are made to fix his problem earpiece.
Drew is informed about this, obviously.
We can recycle most of the water we put through to a point before we start, having problems with the filters. Mostly, it's if we stayed up longer, it's just in case, another contingency.
What about the one to Capcom Crims? Do you read me?
In the middeck, Drew resorts to recounting stories of his childhood.
You know, when I was young and a teenager, I used to go on canoe trips or I'd go camping.
Yeah. So.
And I'd see people, haul up a big RV or a Winnebago to a campground.
Takes away
plug
the fun
in
of it.
their televisions and their satellite dishes.
Earth Orbiter 1 to Capcom Creams. Do you read me? Yes, I read you. I read you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Earth Orbiter 1, for whatever covering my
With the
tracks.
headset up and running, Ivanovic just in time returns to save Drew, who's now moved on to a song and dance routine.
Oh, I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy, Yankee Doodle do die.
Oh, your hands are really cold. Okay. Sarah. Okay, do you know, that would worry me. You've just had 3 weeks training, you find yourself in a space shuttle 124 miles above the Earth, and of the 2 people charged with your safety, one speaks cryptic nonsense and disappears, and the other one seems to have turned into Lionel Blair. Frankly, I don't know where the mission commander finds his pilots. Okay, it's time for a break. When we return, there's more twitching from behind the wardrobe. Don't go away.
You now have 1 minute to decide which balloon sculpture you wish to make. You may choose to make one of your own.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make probably something of my own devising. Oh, yeah, I might even get carried away. What? That's a hat, yeah. Okay, cool.
Hello there, welcome back to Space Cadets. 3 weeks ago, Billy was a recruitment consultant, Kerry a college administrator, and Paul a plasterer. But after intensive training at a fake training facility, they are now all highly trained cosmonauts and experts in scientific experimentation. Of course, if you've got it, you want to flaunt it. So all the cadets were delighted when Mission Control set them their very first scientific challenge. At last, their opportunity to further mankind's understanding of the universe in which we live.
Would cosmonaut Paul please make his way directly to the lab to begin the first experiment?
Mission Control wants the cosmonauts to perform a manual dexterity test to see if they're capable of carrying out delicate and complex scientific experiments on board the shuttle. So, the obvious way of testing this out is to get the cosmonauts to build balloon animals in the fume cupboard, wearing thick rubber gloves.
We had our first experiment. I had to make a balloon puppy, and what happened is that it's not, I swear to God this is true, it's not my fault. I came in and I opened up the box, I read all the instructions, and then I got the box out, I got the pump out, it just broke. I've accidentally broke my pump, but I'm going to try and do it without it, because there was something wrong with my pump anyway, to be fair. Sorry, Capcom Crimps. And I sort of messed up the experiment, but I managed to blow up the remainder of the balloons and put them inside the tank so Kerry and Billy could do their next experiment.
Capcom will now begin the 5-minute countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin.
Capcom Crimps, I finished.
After the minor pump pitch, Paul surprises everyone by making a puppy in under 5 minutes. Cosmonaut Billy is next to take part in the experiment.
First up, I couldn't blow up the balloon, just for the life of me, I was stretching, I just couldn't blow it up. I didn't know what was going on, my face was going red in camera, and then I used one of Paul's ones that he blew up previously, and then I made a dog, I got to the neck and leg, I done the body in 2 legs, and it popped on me. Therefore went to Capcom Crimps, the balloon popped. Oh, that sucks.
Capcom Krimsk to Cosmonaut Billy, your time is up. Remove your hands from the gloves and take your completed sculpture out of the fume cabinet.
Here he comes. Where's your balloon?
I'm showing you it.
What is it?
I'll show you.
Is it a giraffe?
Is it a condom?
It's
It's a pig's condom.
it's a pig's.
It's a worm.
It's a pig's tail.
Did you burst it?
It popped after about a minute. It was going Capcom Crimps because to Earth Orbiter 1, you have 1 minute left, and 30 seconds later it popped. So that was pretty gutting. I don't like not doing things, but oh well, chin up. No big deal.
Next, it's cosmonaut Kerry's turn.
As you will be aware, due to a pump malfunction, we are currently operating a Plan B on this experiment. We will not ask you to inflate your own balloon, but instead to use the pre-inflated balloon which is lying on the work surface.
Hi Capcom, I'm having a problem closing the fume cupboard doors.
Capcom, Krimsk to Cosmonaut Kerry, please verify that the fume cupboard door is completely closed before you attempt to secure it.
Hi Capcom, I've completed that task. I am now placing my hands in the gloves. Capcom, I am now ready to begin.
Please begin the experiment in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin.
Thank you. Oh, my balloon's burst. I don't think I've got bad hands, but my my balloon like deflated within 2 minutes. I was trying to do the ears, and they kept like just unraveling. First one burst, and then I couldn't blow them up. I'm like, I must look such an idiot.
Actor Charlie is last to conduct the experiment. As the mission's going so well, it was a perfect opportunity to push the boundaries of believability by giving Charlie a little help.
You now have 1 minute to decide which balloon sculpture you wish to make. You may choose to make one of your own.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make a probably something of my own devising. Oh, yeah, I might even get carried away. What? That's a hat. Yeah. Okay, cool. As far as everything in my brain and body knows, I'm in space, and then I look over there and a guy's handing me a balloon animal, and it just sort of sheared through my experience and was quite shocking. It was a shock to me, and yeah, I was a little bit just unsettled. I know that sounds ridiculous because I'm being unsettled, snapped back to reality. Here's where my years of training as an actor really kick in. They're not gonna believe I've done this.
My lungs are not made in the same way. Yes, that is very beautiful. Господи, какая король.
That is cool, Charlie.
It started off as an elephant, then I realised it was actually more of a hat. And I know it sounds childish, but the look on Billy's face when I played about with the hat and put the elaborate balloon hat on his head, and he had to go, oh, so I guess I got well and truly beaten in the balloon animal experiment stakes. Put it on.
Wow, man.
Oh, that's cool.
It is really good.
Charlie, that's pretty
Space
impressive.
cowboy hat.
Any more experiments which you can devise in which I somehow managed to pip Billy to the prize? Yeah, bring them on.
Of course, there's a great tradition of children's entertainers and space exploration. Neil Armstrong's zero-gravity Punch and Judy routine was second to none. And Lord alone knows how Buzz Aldrin managed to produce those rabbits from his helmet. OK, back to the shuttle and some spacemen behaving oddly. Yep, the pilots. Both our pilots are improvisational actors who barely know each other. Drew is actually Canadian. Ivanovic is British. But living in a small MDF box for 5 days with 5 other people, pretending to be someone you aren't, is giving them a chance to get to know each other. But are they acting or not? Your guess is as good as ours.
I'm writing my memoir at the moment.
In Russian.
In Russian.
In your native Russian, then?
Нативно, да.
What does that mean?
Just means less than a man, but in brackets...
Last standing man.
Less of a man, but bigger than an insect. You cannot argue with that. can you?
I
bigger
wouldn't
than
even
an
know where to
insect.
begin to argue with that.
Yevgeny likes to use dark, cryptic, almost, they sound like folklore, little sayings. That's why that's why I likened him to a poet earlier.
Earth Orbiter went to Capcom Crimsk. Has Carrie made her way back into the lab?
Кримск. Это не Крымск. Крымск. Крымск.
Crimsk. Crimsk.
Понимаете? Крымск.
Yeah, Yevgeny, is it Yevgeny? I'm going to go in there in a minute, and I hope it is Yevgeny. Yevgeny, isn't it? Oh, well, whatever. I will find out. I'm not being rude. He's brilliant. I find him interesting, really interesting, and he's funny as well. He's sort of got he understands everything what we're saying, and he understands jokes well. But he's got a dry sense of humour. And Drew is ever such a nice man. He's looked after us, and he's sort of like the mother figure, I would say, out of the two.
You know they've been told they have to sit.
I know, but I am flight commander
for the
and not
time.
Willy Блядь.
Exactly. I figured that.
I will stand.
I thought you would.
I will, thank you.
Just hope that's not pee on the seat.
No, it's not pee on the seat. I put the seat up and I am very
Don't
well.
forget to put the seat down.
I put the seat down.
You know, because when the water comes out, you know, you don't want to wet the seat, you know. With the whole thing.
No, I washed and it sprayed on the seat.
Having a domestic.
You want a domestic?
No, I don't want a domestic.
What is a domestic?
You know, you have
It is
domestic.
a- it
You
is
argue
like
about
a
that. You
nest.
argue about having the seat up and down. You know. That
All
sort of
right.
thing.
I like to take
Like an old
a
married
crap
couple,
with
huh?
the seat up completely.
You're crazy like a fox.
Like a fox.
I like the way Yevgeny orders him around. It just makes me laugh. And he's always kind of, yes, commander, no, commander. So yeah, they make a nice couple. But you know who wears the trousers in that relationship.
Another classic from Flight Commander Yevgeny Ivanovich there. Less of a man, but bigger than an insect. And as he said himself, you just can't argue with it. Now, in the universe that the Space Cadets inhabit, they are global celebrities. They face the world's media at a press conference after their selection, so it was inevitable that commercial interests will want to jump on their backs. Let's face it, if Linda Barker gets to wield a giant pair of scissors in the Curry's ads for coming second in the jungle, Britain's first space tourists have got to be in the reckoning for some pretty juicy commercial endorsements of their own. It's ka-ching time.
Cosmonauts Billy and Paul have been called to the lab. Mission Control has told them that they're about to record a promotional advert for a fictional Russian pharmaceutical company called Chipov. They have just 5 minutes to learn the script.
Right. Oh. Are you alright? You look spaced out.
No, I've got a cosmic headache.
Well, don't let it grind you up. Don't let it grind you up. Take a fast-acting chip-off capsule. They've paid a star so they can advertise on TV with us. Your headache will be gone in the speed of light. 30 seconds. How's your headache?
What headache?
Chip-off
I had to pretend that I had a headache. Billy had to ask me what was wrong. I had to tell him that I had a headache. He was to give me some pills, and in a flash, I was better. Do it properly now. Start again.
Oh, okay.
Do it properly.
Well, hang
Bill.
on.
Like, do it properly.
It's like a brand of tablets that people in Russia use, which they probably use a lot because they drink a lot of vodka. How's your headache?
What headache?
Bill? No, stay there. Look into the camera.
Me and Bill, because we got like a good chemistry anyway, just rolled off our tongue. Well, obviously we had words that they told us to say, but we did it in such a way, in a funny way.
Pain relief from the top of your head to the balls of your feet.
That was cool.
All right, so.
We do that sort of thing anyway, like mucking about and interviewing each other. He does a good Johnny Vaughan, doesn't he? So, well, that's all right. Like.
That way we have
After a brief dress rehearsal, Mission Control gets the boys to perform their advert.
1, action.
Are you all right, Paul? You look spaced out.
No, actually, I got a cosmic headache.
Capcom Krimsk to Cosmonaut Paul. We don't believe that you have a headache.
Well, I have.
I want to try and act for you a bit better.
What do you mean? You don't believe that I got a headache?
You've got to act a bit more.
I can't. Oh, okay.
All right, yeah, just...
All right, okay.
After a nervous start, they finally get to grips with the idea.
Here, you alright, Paul? You look spaced out.
No, actually, I got a cosmic headache.
Oh, don't let it grind you up, mate. Take a fast-acting chip-off capsule.
Cosmonauts Billy and Cosmonaut Paul, there is some doubt over whether you should be touching.
Oh.
He's concerned.
I'm concerned with my cosmonaut friend, but fine.
He gets too concerned sometimes.
No touching. But
I'm not allowed to tell anyone.
I just care for the guy.
We will go for a record in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action.
Here, you alright, Paul? You look spaced out.
No, actually, I got a cosmic headache.
Oh, don't let it grind you up, mate. Yeah, take one of these fast-acting chip-off capsules. It'll get rid of your headache with the speed of light. Hey, Paul, how's your headache?
What headache?
Chip-off capsules, fast-acting pain relief from the top of your head to the balls of your feet.
Capcom Crimst to Cosmonauts Billy and Paul. Thank you on behalf of Chip-Off Medicines for successfully completing the promotional advertisement.
Yay! Thank you, Chip-Off Medicines, and sorry about the touching.
Please ensure all scripts and instructions are placed back in the envelope inside the box and returned to the appropriate drawer.
Yeah, we're doing this all the time.
Oh, we done alright there, man.
We did fucking good. We just laugh, but...
This is Capcom Crimst, so we're forward one. Speaking of Cosmonauts Billy and Paul, could you please... We're not sure about the touching.
Well, I can mention Chip-Off a bit, though, yeah? No references at all. OK, fair enough. Oh, OK. Hello there. Apparently I can't mention Chip-Off again because it's what's called product placement. All a bit of a legal headache, which, of course, Chip-Off could clear up like that by hitting at the heart of... Sorry. We're going to take a break now, and when we return, Kerry and the cadets come so close to the truth, they could touch it.
We could just be in a simulator at the moment, and we pull up the shutters and there's just actually a picture.
Welcome back to Space Cadets. Let's just see how they're getting on there. Making a bit of a mess by the looks of things. Anyway, they still haven't called the bluff, but they're all getting closer and closer to the truth.
Oh, I'm having fun.
Cosmonaut Kerry and our man on the inside, Charlie, are talking in the lab.
What are you sort of hoping for from this?
What do you mean?
This whole experience?
Just the experiences, that's all. Because these are like your memories for life, aren't they? I'm nervous if we get to do a spacewalk, though. I'm scared of like a free fall.
No, I'm sure it'll be all right.
Yeah.
They seem quite competent. Don't you find it strange that we're travelling at 28,000 miles an hour or kilometres
It just
per
feels
hour?
like we're on a train.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it? We could just be in a simulator at the moment, and we pull up the shutters and there's just actually a picture. It's not real to me at the moment. Is that how you feel?
Well, it's just little moments. It's kind of your brain plays tricks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, you know, we know where we are, but then there's just, every so often you know, you just think, oh, I'm on a train.
Yeah,
and then, you know, then you look down and see the Earth, and you go, oh, what?
My God,
oh, I'm actually in space. I can't believe there's thrusters behind.
I know.
You know.
I just want to see
Past the
whole.
payload bay.
Yeah, I want to see whole from the outside to see, because all we've seen is the front. I have no idea what the rest of it looks like. I know we were shown like some diagrams, but I just can't remember them now.
Well, we could see that there was an image in the when we looked through. We could see when the pilots were looking at sort of the shuttle shape.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was quite.
Yeah.
That was something. But you know, it's like we have to pick up little bits and bobs and put them together. And our brains have to put the whole thing together and make sense of it.
There's a funny thing, I think, in the back of their minds, something is their physical sensations of it are trying to tell them something, but their minds aren't willing to accept it because, you know, their reality is so carefully constructed around them. Inside, their body is registering the fact that they haven't physically moved.
It feels strange because I know that we're in space, but part of me just feels like I'm on a train.
Oh, I said exactly the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, not a train, but I just said, I said we're floating around space in orbit, we're going around the world. I said other than that, it just feels like we're in this sort of futuristic cabin sort of thing. Like.
Yeah.
But we'd be sitting in here for days and you would not even know you were
in space.
In
Yeah.
We were saying when we first got in here, it'd be funny if like
He was outside, someone was going like this, pushing on the outside of the craft. And then
I think they'd be in a lot of pain.
Yeah, and then
for a very short time.
and then you'd hear him say, "John, get us a burger," or something like that. Pass us that drink or something.
Yeah, a good job to have.
That would be
A
funny.
space rocker.
That would be something else to see. Of course.
Is that like,
They'd
is that
be-
like an
they'd be
official
looking-
job at NASA? Is that an official
contest?
job at NASA, a space rocker?
Space rocker. I think everybody deep down is a space rocker.
There we go. This time it's Kerry who hits the nail pretty much on the head, saying that the shuttle might well be a simulator. Now, I expect people at home are screaming, "So why don't you come out with it? Confront the pilots!" Maybe it's because she doesn't want the dream to end. One thing's for sure, there is no shame in being taken in by a simulator. That's what simulators are meant to do, to simulate, meaning the same as. Here's an experiment, actually, you can all do. I discovered it on the way back to London, driving back. I wasn't driving. But next time you're a passenger in a car, and this is why I wasn't driving, lean against the window, close your eyes, and just kind of feel the vibrations and the noises, and sort of just take in the sensations that are happening. And ask yourself, is it possible I'm in a simulator and not a real car? Certainly for me, the answer was yes, it's possible. The steady vibration, jolts for deacceleration, acceleration, the sound of the engine, just a selection of sensations. It could be a car or a simulator. So, if it's not unreasonable to think that the real thing might be a simulator, why is it so strange for someone to think that a simulator might be the real thing? Ah, okay. Did I sound like Tomorrow's World then? A little bit. Okay, back to the shuttle and time for a workout. Here we go.
Cosmonaut Paul has been working out for 10 minutes now and has some questions for the flight commander about his energy levels.
How come I can't do so many sit-ups and push-ups?
'Cause
On
you-
Earth, I can do loads. Well, not
Is it
loads.
something to do with the speed that we're travelling at?
Well, it is probably to do with the fact, quite simply, that you are tired.
Is it?
The atmosphere is exactly the same. We have simulated it perfectly. Maybe because there is less oxygen
In our body.
in here, and there's a higher quality of quantity of carbon dioxide and nitrogen.
Is that why we're falling over? So why am
You've
I...
been falling over.
We're not falling over, but...
You're falling over because the ship is moving aft and forth.
I've got to do 10 more push-ups as well. I'm doing them.
I'll count you through them. Come on, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Right, ready? And 4. Come on, you've got to get to 10. 10, 4, 5. That's good. 6, 7. 7. Come on, you could, that wasn't 1.
8.
No.
It is 8.
I'll see 8 when I see 8. Come on. That's 8. There. Nice and slow. Come on. Let's go down. 9. Just 2 more. 9.5. 9.75. No, you've got to get up from there. Come on. Failure is not an option. I want to see 1 more, otherwise it's not 10.
Breathing. You do your breathing.
Yeah.
You breathe out on the push-up, okay? Breathe in on the way down, out on the push-up. Breathe it up. That's right. You breathe it up.
Well done. 10.
That is unbelievable why we get less fit up in space.
You're fine. There's a saying, not all should be carried away by the wind, not all should be swept away by the broom. It should all be
Leveled
leveled out very soon.
10 minutes later, and Charlie's all alone in the lab.
That Charlie's a cheeky chappy, isn't he? But don't worry, Paul gets his own back later. OK, earlier we saw Paul and Billy recording an advertisement for chip-off aspirins. Chip-off aspirins, fast-acting pain relief from the top of your head to the balls of your feet. Chip-off aspirins. Well, the boys obviously caused quite a stir within the Russian advertising industry because now they want all the cadets punting their non-existent products.
I understand where you're coming from.
All 4 of our cosmonauts have been called to the lab by Mission Control and told that they must record 3 promotional trails for fictional Russian television and radio stations.
We will go for record in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action.
Hi, we're the first civilian crew on Earth Orbital 1, and you're watching KL2, Russia's only gymnastics channel.
Thank you, cosmonauts. You have now successfully recorded your advertisement for the KL2 Gymnastics channel.
Hands on my head.
Would cosmonauts please stand in a line?
Feels like his hand's growing out of my head.
Without moving your feet unduly, could cosmonauts dance a little?
Is this just for their benefit?
Without moving your feet that bit.
And continue dancing as you do your line. Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action.
Hi, we're the first civilian crew on Earth Orbital 1, and we are loving this funky tune.
Thank you, cosmonauts. You have now successfully recorded your advertisement for Radio Butikal, Moscow.
Radio Butikal. That's...
We're the crew of Earth Orbital 1.
Cosmonaut Kerry, can you make a gun with your fingers?
What gun?
Point it at the head of cosmonaut Charlie.
Like that?
Like that, I think, facing the camera a little bit.
Do it with that, like that.
That's it.
Like that?
Cosmonaut Charlie, can you pretend to be cutting the throat of cosmonaut Paul?
What kind of sick channel is this?
Murder, She Wrote.
What am I got to do?
Cosmonaut Kerry, with your free hand, can you pretend to strangle cosmonaut Billy? Ready to record in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action.
Hi, we're the crew on Earth Orbital 1, and next on KVP4, Murder, She Wrote.
Thank you, cosmonauts. You have now successfully recorded your advertisement trail for KVP4 Murder, She Wrote.
There we go, virtual fame in a virtual world. Well, of course, they've got real fame, I suppose, in a real world, but they must kind of suss it out there, mustn't they? They must think, ooh. Anyway, a great trail for Murder, She Wrote there. Perhaps they'll get to do the one for Last of the Summer Wine next. I'd love to see the shuttle careering out of control down a Yorkshire Dale, towing a bath or a pram or something. Hilarious. Certainly set the mood nicely for songs of praise. Anyway, time for another break. When we come back, I'm going to do something, a bit odd. I'm going to go into the back of the shuttle and have a chat with Charlie and cosmonaut Drew Dawson. Risky. Welcome back to Space Cadets. Now, in a little while, I'm going to be doing something which might well compromise the whole show. It's a high-risk strategy. On the other side of this hangar door, that's not a wall. I know it looks like a corrugated iron wall. It's not. It's a massive sliding door for what was a hangar where they used to test jets down here. But in there is the shuttle, and I'm going to go in there. What's so great about that, you're asking? You were in there yesterday. Well, the difference is, tonight I'm going to go the extra yard and actually enter the shuttle, the laboratory bit of the shuttle at the back, through a concealed door where you might have seen Sarah do an earpiece manoeuvre a bit earlier. And I'm going to have a nice little chinwag with actor cadet Charlie and the actor pilot Drew Dawson. What could possibly go wrong? Let's just see if they're lined up there. The two of them should be... there we go, there's Charlie. Hopefully we can get him and pilot Dawson in the back bit, separated from the other. Hopefully jam the door so the others can't come through. But it is going to be quite risky. We need the two of them to go through there. Now, if my mission into the lab is going to succeed, we'll have to keep Paul out. He, more than anyone, has enjoyed the experimental work in there and seems to have taken it upon himself to push the scientific barriers with some tests of his own. There's Charlie there. I really need him to sort of separate in there and get away from Paul. But anyway, test 1, getting his own back on Charlie for miscounting his press-ups. Test 2, the amazing phenomenon of, well, you saw it a bit earlier and it was extraordinary. Fruit preservation in space. Could be very tense.
It's 3 a.m, and despite the fact they're supposed to be sleeping in shifts of 3, everyone has gone to bed, apart from cosmonaut Paul, who's having to entertain himself.
I just did an experiment. I ate this apple half an hour ago, and at home this would be black a lot easier, well, I suppose more quickly than here in space. But so there's an experiment for you. Less bacteria, I suppose. In a way, there'd be less. I don't know if there's filters or something. But carbon dioxide, no, that carbon dioxide wouldn't. That's the bad air that we breathe out. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask Drew. Constant airflow of clean air and no bacteria has caused this apple not to go off so quickly. Should we do another Paul French experiment? It's another experiment. This is a really good experiment. This here is freeze-dried ice cream, which actually I'm about to taste. And the experiment goes like this. So here's the experiment. That's right. I'm going to take another piece. This is the chocolate now. And the experiment is this. How long will it take for Charlie to realise I've ate his ice cream? Starting from now.
I'm in the control room now and I'm about to go into that room there and then into the shuttle. It's a risky one, could blow the whole game. The walls of the shuttle are paper thin. Well, they're MDF thin, and I could easily be heard. I'm going to have to speak really quietly, which, yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'll be candid. It's not something I'm particularly known for. In fact, I'm known as quite a loud person. Added to that, the floor is littered with kit and equipment and wires. We'll have to go in using infrared cameras, and I rather fear I might be wearing my clumsy shoes. So why am I doing it? Because it's there, and Charlie and Drew are expecting me. Okay, here goes. Could you stop movement on it, because else I'll get sick. Okay. nice to meet you, Charlie. I've seen you since the end. Okay. How are you both coping with life aboard the shuttle generally, Drew? How are you coping?
Pretty well so far. It's a lot easier today than it was yesterday. We're kind of settling in.
Were you surprised that the cadets fell for the takeoff? I mean, so dramatically.
I wasn't going to be surprised if they did until the sound kept going, or the sound cut out, and the motion kept going.
Yeah.
So so I thought, oh no, it's gone. That's it. You know, they're going to abort, or they're going to sit there and go, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And somebody's going to come in and go, sorry folks, it's a TV show. But then, you know, we kind of just hiccuped for a bit, and then we covered. And then the sound started back up, thank God, and
God, what a moment.
we were...
Charlie,
I didn't know about that.
Charlie, I've looked at you, and a couple of seconds, you've had this look of real astonishment at your face, and I'm thinking, are there doubts in his mind about, have they actually sent me into space here? Or is he thinking, this is amazing, or is it, what's going through your mind when you look that staggered? Is it just acting?
I had that. No, I had the thought that it's a double bluff, and they have put. And I know that sounds like, because my brain has been doing all sorts of flip-flops the whole time. Yeah. It did cross my mind that it was an elaborate thing, and that I was actually in space, and that it was a kind of anti-meta joke. And anyway,
meta joke.
Yeah, but do you know that I just didn't know until now that the beginning was a fuck up. I assumed it was because it all went a bit weird, and I was trying to distract the others, sort of lamely, by pretending to be a little bit more scared than I was. Although I ended up being quite scared at one point when we were sort of going there.
But your face when we saw Earth for the first time, I mean, your face was amazing. I mean, you really did look staggered. It was blinding acting. But
thank you very much. Thank you.
Were you amazed at the special effects, though, slightly?
Yes.
I mean, is it easy to kind of be amazed? Because
Yes.
it is quite amazing.
Yes. No. Well, it's always easier when you can be genuine. You know, when. Because it is amazing. The whole thing is amazing. So I'm constantly amazed and baffled anyway. So it's very easy to play amazed and baffled. So yeah, when I saw it, that was stunning. I mean, as I said, I was humbled.
I have a theory, which is, you know, when you see those shows about hypnotists on telly. You know, I've never been hypnotised myself, but I've got a couple of mates that have been hypnotised at various stages on those things, and they say all the while you're doing it, you kind of know the truth, but something drives you on. But something inside knows. You're not really a dog.
Definitely.
You know, pissing up against round the stage and stuff. But yet, because of the group dynamic, you're kind of forced to behave in that way. Is there a little bit of that here? Do you think
there's a lot of that?
You think there's a lot of?
Yeah. I think that they're constantly be having the lie reinforced. Like the Richard and Judy thing was stunning.
Yeah.
It was that just hammered their heads again and again against the wall. The Queen, you know, following it. They're so completely believe, and yet at the same time they don't. There's their brain. There's a voice in their head screaming and screaming and screaming and going, "We're in a simulator. This isn't real. We're on the ground." They keep saying little things, and little words keep seeping out.
It's like
their bodies are trying to tell them.
Yes.
It's like your mind's telling you yes, but your body telling you no, as R. Kelly once said.
Yes,
but it's kind of like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you think they're going to take it? That's what I want to know. Because I spoke to their friends and family yesterday, and they were like, they'll be fine. They're here because they've got a sense of humour. They're practical jokers, and they'll be that I knew it kind of moments. But what do you think? I knew it. I said it more than.
But it's like, you know, essentially. I keep looking at hatches.
I know. Is that long?
Yeah. Essentially, they're going to be deprogrammed like that, which is, you know, not usually when people are sort of indoctrinated into a massive cult, which is kind of what this is. You know, it takes them a long while to get deprogrammed. They're just going to literally have, oh fuck, we're up, like that. Yeah. And I think that they might have a kind of just 10-minute period where they can't really stand up.
Yeah, it's like when you've been on a ship or something, you get on the harbour. What I'm amazed at, because the cameras move exactly in time, you can't see there how much this thing's moving. I mean, this is like being on a rough little ferry or something, isn't it?
Yeah,
definitely.
If you sit in the bunk that lies over the hatch, going to the cockpit, it's suddenly like you're attached to a really creaky hut in a storm.
No, it reminds me actually of like when I flew Aeroflot once to Bangkok, the Russian airline. And it was moving like this kind of constantly, and you go, you know, when you're waiting for the loo, it's that kind of feeling of mild turbulence, isn't it? Do you know what you're saying, though, really, Charlie, is about how they react? Is The trouble with space travel, real or invented, is sooner or later you've got to come back down to Earth.
Yeah.
And they're going to come back to Earth instantly, whereas the others obviously get the chance to.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, listen, Dawson.
Thank you very much. Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Shelley, loving your work, man. Really loving your work.
Thank you.
Okay, do you know what? That's about it for now. It's time for me to get out of here and Charlie and Drew to return to the cage. Tomorrow is the penultimate day of the mission. The cadets who didn't make it into the shuttle will find out just what's been going on for the last month. So they're going to get the big picture tomorrow. So we've got cadets in the barracks. They're revealed tomorrow, and the day after, the big one, when I'll see you two again. So join me then. This has been Space Cadets. I'm off. 10-0. See you later, lads. Good job.
Live long and prosper.
Yes. Live long and prosper.